Welcome to Channel X TV, sponsored by Volo. Delighted to be joined today by Mark Adams from BigCommerce to talk all things trends, AI, and the new BigCommerce Catalyst implementation that's just come out. So welcome, Mark. How are you today?
I'm really good, Chris. Thanks for inviting me on the show again.
Yeah, so I want to first of all dive into Catalyst because you've only recently announced this early in February this year, and it's a fundamental change really to how developers and agencies can actually build websites. So just tell us a little bit about it in a nutshell. What does it mean for brands?
Well, essentially, Catalyst is our new storefront technology, or the front-end technology that's often referred to, or the presentation layer, or the shop window, if you like, when a consumer is coming to a digital channel or a website or whatever it might be. It is the presentation layer of what the customer is seeing, and in development terms, that is, you know, the capability to showcase those products in a performant way on the front end of any digital channel. In essence, what Catalyst is, it's a highly modern Next.js and React-based technology solution, which from a development perspective makes it really quick and easy to deploy new features in that front end, to make changes to that customer experience. And historically, that has been one of the challenges for retailers and brands operating, in e-commerce storefront, is oftentimes it's a big development task to make changes to that presentation layer. Well, Catalyst will make that really simple and easy to do for developers. It will make it out of the box so that new features can be integrated at speed. It will also mean that the front end performance, the site performance, the clickability, if you like, and the performance of the speed of the site will be much faster, because it's relying on a very modern technology architecture that's very lightweight and very speedy in terms of the performance, which is going to help consumer experience, is going to make it more SEO friendly, because Google likes highly performant and fast websites, as do customers.
Yeah, and I think that digging down into the detail on this, I think the important bit is that it's very low code or no code. So it's almost, for the developers, a drag and drop experience, meaning changes can be made super fast without having to spend weeks or months coding.
Well, this is the great thing. We're going to release Catalyst in its first iteration out of the box, so it can be used in a completely standard way with all of the components pre-built. We're also going to open source. The plan is to open source many of those React components as well, so developers can drag, drop, and take different components as they please, but it will be wrapped up in a more out-of-the-box fashion for the launch of headless storefronts in phase one very quickly. But the great thing about Catalyst isn't necessarily that, Chris. It's actually what you can do with it afterwards, the customization and the flexibility once you take that out-of-the-box solution, which you could deploy super quick if you wanted. But it also allows for retailers and brands that really want to customize that experience to go one step further and introduce lots of customization if they so wish. So it's a fully featured out-of-the-box suite and set of solutions, but it's also going to enable greater customization and flexibility in the longer term.
And talking of this customization, can you give us a kind of a real-world example of what that customization means, and what a brand would want it for, and what they can actually present to their consumers?
We'll think about some of the changes you might want to make on the front end of a website, and you want either developers or business users to be able to do that quickly. It could be anything from introducing a new navigation template, for example, and changing the navigation. It could be introducing new widgets and functionality on the website that are available in the back end of the e-commerce solution. So think maybe various different APIs that need to be exposed, or new features that are being launched, particularly around, in BigCommerce's world, our multi-storefront capabilities. So exposing products across different channels in an easy to consume way. new features that we might be releasing that can be exposed very quickly in the front end. And so it's not a big development task to do. It's just plug and play on that front end experience, rather than a developer have to be spending lots of time technically coding that experience, or integrating that API or that back office functionality into the front end. This is what typically slows down customers, is once they've gone live and they're iterating and they're building on the site. We want to make that really easy. We want to make changes really performant, and so it's constantly at the forefront of high levels of performance as the web changes and as complexity is introduced into the customer experience. So in the composable world, typically when you wanting to introduce maybe a new content management solution or tooling, or some new search or merchandising technology or personalization technologies, we're going to make that out of the box. We're going to make that really easy to deploy in the front end for developers and for business users.
So I know you work with lots of partners, and also I should say some acquisitions like Makeshift, where you've actually bought the technology in-house. But how does this vary from sort of the websites of 10 years ago? Now we have composable websites. And what is a composable website? What does it actually mean? And what are the benefits for a brand?
Yes, so I'll take the latter part of that question first. What is composable? In the old days, an e-commerce platform was providing all of the features that you might need to deploy an e-commerce website. So the content management, the business user functionality, the product catalog, for example, the search technologies I've mentioned, merchandising, that was all wrapped up in one platform. And so when you wanted to make changes to one part of that platform, it meant a big project to launch in a performant way that on the front end. So your search is heavily, for example, inbuilt into the e-commerce platform. Whereas if you want to move towards more of a best of breed solution, taking the best search technology on the market, the best content technology on the market, the best product information or catalog tooling on the market, you need to be able to plug and play those technologies much more easily. Otherwise, the project and the complexity becomes too large to be able to deploy for most retailers quickly. And really, as we've said, Catalyst enables that. But a composable architecture and a composable vision, which BigCommerce has, to be able to connect our core platform into lots of other different solutions and then expose those on the front end of the website in the presentation layer, which will be Catalyst, makes that really easy. What we've seen over the last few years is really lots of innovation in the e-commerce market space, particularly around product information, catalog management, multi-storefront capabilities, personalization, search, and we want to bring those best of breed solutions to customers in an easily consumable, faster market kind of proposition, and that's the strategy. You made a point around BigCommerce's Makeswift acquisition, Chris. We did that acquisition in November, and this really is the next gen page editing, content management tooling that we've acquired. This is being integrated to Catalyst now, so not only do developers get the flexibility to launch highly performant front end capabilities and storefronts, but Makeswift will allow business users to have the same kind of flexibility and intuitiveness as well. So business users will be able to make changes in that back end via Makeswift page editing tooling in a much more intuitive drag and drop fashion. Again, it is built on highly performant, highly flexible Next.js and React based technologies, which are aligned to our Catalyst programming languages as well. So we're really trying to expedite a super modern business user and developer user experience to be able to launch stuff fast, to launch stuff that's highly performant, and give our customers exactly what they need to carry them forward for the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, this all sounds fantastic, but you just talked about the next 5 or 10 years, and there's something I really wanted to ask you. which is AI, and where you see that playing in e-commerce. We're already seeing retailers using it to create product descriptions. We're seeing brands using it to power their customer service with AI chatbots. But where do you see the biggest benefits coming from? And what should brands be looking out for in AI to really supercharge their businesses and free up their staff essentially to do more interesting, productive work?
I think that's exactly where the first phase of generative AI is having its biggest impact is in automation of what was typically business or technical tasks that took a lot of time or effort. So in our world at BigCommerce, we're wanting to make the product information, the catalog management much more seamless. If you speak to any retailer or merchant or brand, they'll tell you one of the biggest challenges is the quality of product data and product information. Well, we're using generative AI to create product descriptions that are SEO, highly SEO performant, for example. And that's typically a task that would be many hours, many days, or in some cases, months of effort for a merchandiser or technical resources to be able to gather all of that product information into one place, enrich it, and then push it out to the right channels. BigCommerce, along with Feedonomics, our sister company, are solving that problem with enriching product data at scale, making it kind of complete, but also enriching it much more speedily, making it SEO friendly. So that's one of the areas that we're quite focused on at the moment. We also look to leverage other partner technologies, where our partners are investing heavily in generative AI. One of those would be Google. So we're taking advantage of Google's search and recommendations technologies with the launch of some new features and functions on our roadmap, and making that much more out of the box, and relying on Google's huge investment in artificial intelligence and generative AI, as well as some of our other partners in the search space, in the PIM space as well.
Fantastic. And what else are you expecting to see on the kind of the BigCommerce roadmap, and also trends in e-commerce? What are people asking for that we haven't quite got today?
Well, when I speak to many of our customers that are live on our platform, the thing they're focused often most on is optimization of conversion across the funnel. So whether that's from homepage through to the product listing pages, PDPs, and then checkout, they're constantly trying to optimize that, because that's where the biggest ROI is on any change. And oftentimes, in fact, it's one of the easiest things to change. So BigCommerce is continuously optimizing our checkout. We have a heavy investment in checkout capability. We have a one-page checkout capability that's pre-integrated to many dozens of payment solutions across the world, and we're constantly trying to optimize that out of the box to improve the conversion rate in the checkout. We're trying to do that also in other parts of the platform. So that's especially today, where budgets are under pressure, where if you're a digital director, you're looking to get the most out of what you perhaps already have. Conversion optimization is probably the number one thing that you would go after.
Fantastic. So we'll make sure we put links below to the new BigCommerce Catalyst front end, and indeed the BigCommerce website for anyone that wants to find out more. And we've also you've got an event coming up on the 17th. Do you want to give a quick mention of what's happening there?
Yeah, we have our BigSummit, which is our partner and customer summit. We're expecting around about 550 to 600 guests. Well over a third to half of those will be customers and prospects that we're talking to at the moment, as well as our technology and agency partner network. So we're really looking to bring together that community. It will be very customer led, so lots of presentations and insights and data from a whole bunch of our customers that will be talking about what they're doing with our platform and with other partner technologies, what they're seeing in terms of trends in the market and where they're investing and what their challenges are. So it's a huge event. It's being held at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is one of our customers, and we expect it to be quite possibly the biggest event anywhere in the world that BigCommerce has put on up to date. So we're looking forward to it. Very, very exciting.
Looking forward to that, and looking forward to hearing more about Catalyst there as well. But Mark, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Chris.